Hey, what's up? It's Josh, and today it's another Solocast, just you and me. I am actually preparing to go to Lake Tahoe for the Spartan Up podcast series. Also going to be doing some podcasts with the Mind Pump, the hashtag podcast hard crew over there. So before I jump on the plane, I get to check in with you. I have been exploring so much this week, as I know that you have. You know, the seasons have changed. We're going through a weather change. We're going through an energy change. We're just going through a lot of damn changes, aren't we? And I feel like this was a perfect time to check in and really get clear on the ways that we can support our physical body. As you'll hear in an upcoming podcast with Drew Canole, the founder of Organifi, our show sponsor, and also just, an amazing guy. He said to me on the podcast, our body is our subconscious mind. And it really hit me as the ultimate truth, because how many times do you feel something in your body and that's your body trying to give you some type of an intelligent message, but yet it's either received or it's ignored or bypassed? Well, today I wanted to talk about serving our physical body, giving our body nourishment. And we can do this through the Morning 21. So if you're listening to this, this is a free guide. This is absolutely free of charge. This is just something I wanted to do for our community. You can pick it up right now. Just go to wellnessforce.com/M21. Now, this Morning 21, we're really talking about finding the evidence, right? So finding the evidence, as we said on another Solocast together before, is about gathering the evidence as well. And gathering the evidence and finding the evidence, we can also create the evidence. Now, from 200 plus shows, some of the brightest minds in the wellness world, it occurred to me about 3-4 months ago that I get to distill all the deepest, most powerful gems from all the men and women that have been on the show. And I wanted to make an easy guide that can give us a tune in, a dial in, a microscope to how we can show up every single day in about 21 minutes, right? I've been getting emails. I had a conversation earlier today on one of my discovery calls with our audience calls, and he was mentioning to me that he actually took the 21-minute system and he changed a few things that worked for him. But look, it's been said for thousands of years by contemporary and ancient wellness and spiritual leaders that our thoughts, our breaths, and our movements that we choose to cultivate in the morning are actually what hold the power to transform our life. Now, this Morning 21 system, this is what gives you a step-by-step and really sequential order for all you need so you can prime your mind, your spirit, and today really focused on the body because, as Drew said, and as you'll learn in an upcoming podcast, the body is the subconscious mind. And in the subconscious mind, this is where we can actually let go of old weight and the things that aren't serving us physically and emotionally so we can live our life well. I mean, that's the whole point of the podcast. So do yourself a huge favor and just take a deep breath, because this is really where everything begins. We have done many breath breaks on the podcast, but right now I want to talk about the third step in our M21 guide, and that is box breathing. Now, we're bypassing the sea salt, the lime, the water for digestion, and the bed making for productivity and priming the brain. We're going to go right to the box breathing here. Now, this has been my biggest learning curve in wellness since I started the show, since I've gone on my journey. As you know, I have this tattoo on my arm, Se posso respirare, posso scegliere, which means if I can breathe, I can choose. And so this breathing aspect, it seems like in the moment when we're in work or life or love or just, out and about in the world, the things that stress me out the most are when I'm actually exacerbating it by forgetting to breathe. So this is a breath break. Take a breath break right now. Roll your shoulders around. Breathe in for 5 seconds. This is the beginning of the box breath in our third step for the M21. You're going to breathe in for 5. You're going to hold it for 5. You're going to exhale slowly for 5. And then you're going to hold the bottom for 5, this 5-count box breath cycle. What you do is you sit upright on a meditation stool. You place both hands on your belly and you inhale slowly through your nose for 5 seconds. Now, you really want to make sure that your mouth is closed, but you're not tensioning your jaw. You want to relax your musculature. The only thing that you're holding any structure or tension on is your spine and your core, just to hold your body upright. Now, at the top, hold for 5 seconds. Feel that stretch effect in your belly. Feel how when you do that, you increase the space in your diaphragm, which then a big cue for your vagal nerve to then get your body into more of a parasympathetic state, more of a rest and digest state. Next, exhale slowly through your mouth for 5 seconds. And when you exhale, feel the stress melt away from your day. Feel the stress melt away from your body. This 5-5-5-5 box count, this is what you do after 21 warrior breaths. Now, these warrior breaths are quick. You breathe in fully through your nose, then immediately out of your mouth 21 times with no pausing in between breaths. But if you feel dizzy, stop. Do not overdo this. Return to normal breathing. The warrior breaths are literally just inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. What that's doing is it's super oxygenating your system, and it's radically shifting you from being in the head to in the body. You will follow the 21 warrior breaths with the 5x5 box count, and there's actually something in our M21 guide that shows you how to do it. Next is sitting still. Sitting still. I have fallen into a trap where if I miss more than 2 days or 3 days of being still and meditating, that it's easy for me to fall off. And so what I do is I have Insight Timer. This is an app on my phone. I think it's a free app, by the way. It's totally free. You can get it on Android and iTunes. And what you'll do is you'll actually give it reminders. So you'll have reminders set for you to actually meditate. You can meditate for 3 minutes, my friend. It doesn't have to be this long, drawn-out 30-minute, 40-minute light incense. Make sure you're wearing a white robe type experience. All you have to do is just be still after you're breathing. So you've cued your breathing. You shifted your nervous system over to rest and digest, parasympathetic. Next, you get to be still. It could be 3, it could be 5, it could be 7 minutes. In that space, there is so much going on. There is a neuro connection where you're priming your brain to be still, to be calm through the day. There's also a stillness where if there is something coming up in your physical body that wants to speak to you, back pain, shoulder pain, neck pain, digestion, stress, emotions, Bruce Lipton, the issues are stored in our tissues for a reason. That's where it will come out. So we have our breath, then we're going to the meditation. And after the meditation, this is the coolest part. After the meditation, you're in your body, you're out of your head, you get to perform womb squats. Now, this is really fascinating. When we look at how much we sit and we stand, and especially if you look at the research on defecation, yes, pooping. If you're pooping incorrectly, which the majority of America is, we never actually get into a womb squat position. So this womb squat is linked in the M21 guide. It's the 4th category, the 4th procedure. You're going to start by just standing at 45 degrees with your heels in line with your shoulders. You're going to squat down, keeping your chest up, and you're going to exhale as you grab one ankle with the opposite hand and put your hand up in the air. Now, it's a lot to conceptualize when you're here, but in your body, the reason this is so fantastic is because this movement hits all the large organs and all the large muscle groups for mobility and motility. So in other words, as you do this deep womb squat position and your glutes are way lower than your knees and your spine is straight, you're going to open up your hips, you're going to open up your lumbar spine, and as you rotate and exhale, you'll still be cueing your limbic brain to relax, to get that nice novelty of movement, and you're also going to be cueing your nervous system to shift again to parasympathetic. You're going to alternate these reaches. Make sure that you're breathing the entire time, and make sure your hand actually is going all the way to the ceiling while you do it. So far, these 3 categories. This is all linked in the M21 guide. There's also a demo video in that guide you can do to practice. This is really where all things begin, in our breathing, in our stillness, in our movement. And I'm reminded of this where in my life, when I skip these things, when I skip these trusted practices, I will notice that generally I feel more on edge. I will feel more sympathetic or fight or flight. So let this be a sign. If you chose to listen to the show today, if you chose to do the M21 process, even for a day or 21 days, just let this be a sign to you that this is coming into your consciousness. This information's coming at you in your field for a reason, for you to gift yourself this breathing, this stillness, this movement, this physical intelligence. And you'll know that as we go along this journey together, there is going to be times where we're going to update things. But at the end of the day, the basics never go out of style. This moving, this breathing, this being still with our bodies. This is where actually all the physical intelligence lives and is trying to give us messages all throughout the day. So it's up to us. It's up to you and I right here in this moment to tune in. You tuned into Wellness Force. Now, can you tune into yourself? Can you tune into the messages that your body is telling you, these ancient signals that have been around so much longer than Facebook and Twitter and even this podcast that I'm just a mirror for, and so are you. So if this resonated, let me know. What is your commitment to the M21 process? Are you going to go for 7 days? Are you going to do it one day? Because one day is way better than zero. Are you committed to doing this for a month? Let me know on social. Wellness Force. We're chatting about this so much more in the Wellness Force group at wellnessforce.com/group. If you got one thing from our Solocast today, just let this be a sign. Let this be a little guidepost from God, from Spirit. A little arrow pointing you in the right direction. To tune back in to your breath, to your stillness, to your movement, and go make it an incredible day. And so will I, and we will do this together step by step on the path as we discover this physical and emotional intelligence to live our life well. So until I see you again next week, I'm wishing you love and wellness.